Hi and welcome to another YouTube video, and there is so much stuff to talk about in this voiceover. Like, I want to talk about this build a little bit and the year 2020 for The Sims and my wishes for The Sims in 2021, but I also want to talk about my personal 2020 and what I plan and wish for in 2021. So there is a bunch of stuff to talk about and I should get started right now so that this video doesn't get too long. So the concept for this build was to only use packs and items that came out in 2020, and that meant no CC and no base game. But the packs that came out in 2020 were Tiny Living, Eco Lifestyle, Nifty Knitting, Journey to Batu and Snowy Escape. And all of them have super beautiful build and buy items, so I thought it would be super easy, a super beautiful build. But I didn't consider those packs when I chose the kind of build that I wanted to do, because I wanted to build a typical European suburban house. And yeah, the only doors and windows that came with Eco Lifestyle and Snowy Escape. And both of these sets of doors and windows are very, very specific. Like, the ones from Eco Lifestyle are very specific to container homes and modern builds, while these from Snowy Escape are specific to an Asian style of build. And there are also these huge open windows. But none of these fit the style that I wanted, and in the end I decided to go with the doors and windows from Snowy Escape. But I wasn't entirely happy with the way it looked from the outside in the end. But on the other hand, I am very proud of the inside of this build. There were so many beautiful items I was able to use for the inside, and also I created one of my favorite rooms that I've ever done upstairs. I built a teenager's room with one of these like expandable beds from Tiny Living. And also put like a TV there and a separate nook for like doing homework and stuff. And I was very happy with how that room came out, and also the living room. So I was very fortunate with the interior decoration items that I was able to use. And that was also like a nice new experience, because usually I'm very happy with the outside of a build, and then I come to the inside and I'm like, I don't know if that looks like as good, or if that is a disappointment after people have looked at the outside. But this time I thought it was the other way around. I was a little bit disappointed with the exterior, but I'm super happy with the interior, and it's nice to have a new experience with building every now and then. And I think that segues perfectly into the year 2020 for The Sims, because I already listed all the packs that came out, and with Tiny Living and Eco Lifestyle, there were some of my favorite packs ever in 2020. Like, Tiny Living is only a stuff pack, but I had so many hours of fun with it. Like, I built tiny houses over and over again in like February and March, and then it also reignited my love for Rags to Riches type gameplay again, because there are so many amazing perks with living in a tiny house. And then Eco Lifestyle came out and was just perfect for Rags to Riches gameplay, and also had like I love the dumpster item, and I love, like, I don't know about like the voting system. When I play now, I mostly like turn that off, but I also love to give my neighborhood a green eco footprint, mostly through cheating, for like thumbnails and also like cinematic tours and stuff. It's like similar to Seasons in that it just enhances that kind of stuff. But also 2020 was an amazing year for free build mode updates. Like, I'm not sure if the stair update was in 2020, but there was like the free placement of windows and also windows on top of each other, which I loved. And then there was, of course, the platform update, and it's a shame. I think I didn't use platforms in this build, which I really should have done, considering it's the 2020 build, but I think I just forgot, or it was just too glitchy to use them. Oh no, I used them in a few areas where there was like landscaping clipping into the build, and then I used the platforms to basically close that off. I don't know if that counts as using platforms, but I tried. And then there also was like the Hispanic Week update, and I thought that was super cool, the new build items that we got. I also used the grill in the garden, and it looked super nice there, so I also had this new 2020 item in there, even though it is base game. And yeah, of course, I mean, that's not a build mode update, but there was the skin tone update, which I think is amazing. So yeah, I kind of like the year 2020 for The Sims, even though I would have loved to see more like packs catered to family type gameplay, because that is what I like to do. I like to have like generations and generations of family, and generations is exactly the word that I also wanted to like throw into the mix, because this is my main wish for 2021, to have a generations type pack that gives more depth to each life state and more stuff to do that is specific to the life states. I think that is a wish that many people share with me, and that has been voiced a lot. So I am kind of hopeful, and I am also hopeful that we maybe see something like concerning the release date for The Sims 5 in 2021. Because The Sims 4, like the core of the game and the base of the game, is just very like limiting, I think, in comparison to, for example, Sims 3. And I really hope that they do it right with The Sims 5 and have like more potential also for like a base game and future packs for The Sims 5. Also that there will be more competition in the life simulation world around like 2021 or 2022 is, I think, going to be very good for all of these kinds of games, and also it's going to force EA to step it up a little, which is important, I think. And now, before I start talking about my personal year 2020, I want to say two little things. One is that I'm very sorry that I'm not talking a lot about the build in this voiceover. Like, if you want to see a voiceover of me where I like specifically talk about the build and all my thoughts while building it, let me know in the comments, and then I'll do a video like that and we can see which kind of voiceover we like more. And the other thing is that I'm very sorry that I missed the upload on Tuesday. I had a very busy week before Christmas, and so after Christmas I just needed some time to relax and unwind, and so that is why the video is coming out today. And now the more personal part for the few people who make it to this part in the voiceover. Okay, so I'll start with saying the part of 2020 that sucked the most for me was like all of the people who were suffering like with the illness itself. Like having that can be really hard and yeah, very like painful, and I know a few people who had it, and like I feel so sorry for all of these people, but I also feel so sorry for the people who lost family members this year, and for the people who were lonely and who were struggling financially or mentally. Like that was like all of the empathy I felt for all of these people. That was like so hard, and I felt so like sad and sorry for all of these people a lot this year. But still, I have to say that for me personally, 2020 was one of the best years of my life, if not the best year, because I had a very hard 2019. I study psychology, for those people who don't know that, and it is pretty hard sometimes to study psychology, and I basically completely burned myself out like in the years before 2020. Always 3 or 4 months before the exam period, I would start and just like wake up around 10 because I'm a uni student and start studying, and then around like 0 or 1 o'clock a.m. I would like stop studying after like 12 or more hours of studying, and then have 1 hour to have fun, if that was possible after that kind of day, and then went to bed, and the next day this whole process started again, and it was not fun. Not at all. And it was very hard on my mental health. I cried a lot, like the 2 months before an exam period. I think I cried like 4 times a week, and I had a lot of panic attacks in the end, and I was just generally super anxious, and also I had like no energy left to like show interest in the people around me or things I used to love, or like any energy to put into my physical or mental health. And so I was just in a very bad place in the end of 2019. And so I talked with my parents, and we discussed that it's best for me to take 1 year longer with my bachelor's degree and to make a more relaxed year in 2020 before we knew what would happen, and that I would only take 3 courses in 2020, which would give me more time to focus on them and get better grades, and also just have a little bit of time to myself. Because as you can maybe see on my channel, is that I really love to be creative. I'm a super creative person, and I love to draw, and I love to build, and just be creative in any possible way. But for 4 years, when I finished school and then started studying, I just basically took my creativity, put it in a drawer, and closed it for 4 years. And that was very hard on me too. And so 2020 gave me the possibility to take it out again and draw a lot and build a lot. And then, the pandemic happened, and the 3 courses that I would have taken in 2020 were practical courses where you would work like one-on-one with other humans. And so these courses couldn't take place, they couldn't happen, and they got cancelled. And the grades that we had in the parts of these courses that we were able to make in the end of 2019 and the beginning of 2020 were just extended, and our grades for these courses. But that also meant that from like April on, I just had this big chunk of free time, which I didn't have in like such a long time. And I was like in the most fortunate position ever, because I'm an introvert, and staying at home and just talking to like 1 or 2 people for an extended amount of time is like no problem for me. That's exactly how I would spend the holidays when we had school holidays and stuff. And I wasn't lonely because I live in my apartment with my amazing boyfriend, who is the best company I could have wished for during this time. And then I was in a situation where I could just like wake up in the morning and decide what I wanted to do with that day myself. And I hadn't had something like that for such a long time. And it was just like such a nice feeling. And then in June, I got the idea that I wanted to, I played The Sims the whole year. I played it so much, and I wanted to make my own save file, or just to share my builds with more people. And so I got the idea to start a YouTube channel where I could build in The Sims and do like whatever comes to my mind, and also draw stuff. And it worked out perfectly. I started it, and it became like my favorite hobby ever. Of course, I had a lot of hobbies in my life, like I did many things, but I never enjoyed a hobby as much as I do YouTube, because it has this amazing social and creative components that just like fill me up with so much joy. And all of that freedom I had, like for a lot of people, 2020 took away their freedom because they couldn't go out, they couldn't see the people that they wanted to see. But for me, 2020 gave me so much freedom because it gave me time. And during that time, I was really able to like regain my mental and physical health, and also be curious again. I'm usually a very curious person, but after like all of these information overloads over so many years of studying and focusing on my education, when I got home, I just didn't want to have to know anything more. I just wanted to shut off my brain. But lately, my brain wants to learn again, which is super cool, and I just feel like myself again. So I'm super happy about that. And also, I didn't have a single panic attack in 2020, which I'm super grateful for. And there is also another component of my mental health where 2020 was super helpful, because for years I have struggled with anorexia and also body dysmorphia. And 2020 gave me the possibility to like judge my body myself without any like exterior judgment. And that was very helpful for the body dysmorphia, because I wasn't as like insecure anymore, but I could just like look at myself and really figure out like how my body looks. And also these long years of restrictive eating were very hard and damaging on my like circulation and stuff, and also did a thing that is quite common, even though it isn't as known, but it's a thing where you basically are always hungry no matter how much you eat, which is a normal response of your body to being like undersupplied for a longer amount of time. And this year I researched a lot of like methods to combat that, and one is to just like basically eat as much as you want, so like not restrict your eating anymore until you like reach the point where you don't feel hungry anymore, and your body can learn like those feeling of how much eating do I need, like new. I can't really explain it very well, but there's a video that I'm going to link in the description that explains it super well. Which meant that my weight fluctuated a lot in 2020, because like when I did that and when I had these normal feelings of like not being hungry all the time again, I wanted to lose a little bit of weight, but in a healthy way with doing like sports and stuff, and not with restrictive eating. That didn't work out like 100%. I had like a sports routine for a long time, and like on a few days it worked better, on other days I wasn't as motivated and restricted my eating again a little bit, but yeah, I think I'm still like in a better place with that part of my mental health than I was in the beginning of the year, and I'm super happy and thankful for that. And also like in other kinds of years, I would have been super scared to do all of this, because like I would have been scared that people would like comment on my weight changes through the year. But this year I didn't have to meet anyone, and my boyfriend was like super supportive the whole time, so I basically didn't have to worry about that. And this year just gave me like awesome possibilities to work on specific stuff. And the other thing that made me super happy this year was like drawing and art, and I made so much progress this year. I thought of making a video like my art journey 2020, like showing my first like images and drawings of this year and comparing it to the last ones and critiquing them all. Please let me know if you would be interested in a video like that. Yeah, because I think I would love to make something like that, but I would have to hurry up, otherwise it wouldn't be like relevant anymore. And yeah, that was basically my year 2020, which I'm super thankful for, but because it changed my life for the better. But I know that I am in a fortunate position with that, and I am like full of like compassion and feeling sorry for the people who weren't in a fortunate position like that this year. And the last thing that I want to talk about is my hopes and dreams for the year 2021. And I am a little bit scared of this year, because there are going to be some very stressful phases where basically I'm going to like have 4 courses, do an internship, and write my bachelor's thesis at the same time. It's going to be from June to September, which is also going to be a time where I'll have to take a break back from YouTube, which is going to be very hard for me. I know that already. Yeah, so that makes me a little bit scared. But I still want in the rest of the year, I want to have fun. I want to maintain and improve my mental health, and I want to just feel myself, be creative, and also still work on YouTube. My dream would be that in the end of 2021 I could reach maybe 1,000 subscribers in 1 year's time, because I did YouTube for half a year now and I've got 325 subscribers, which is amazing. And if I would grow at exactly the same speed in these 2 half years of 2021, I would be at 1,000 subscribers, but I'm not sure if that's going to be possible, because I have to take that huge break in the middle of the year, and so I won't beat myself up if I can't manage to reach that goal. But it's still nice to have goals for 2021. And another thing that I really want to do is streaming. And I have been streaming before. I was on an amazing Minecraft multiplayer server called Kingcraft. And there were a lot of streamers on there. And I had a lot of fun and I wanted to try streaming. But at that point in time, I was just way too anxious and way too overwhelmed. And I put way too much pressure on myself for it to be the perfect stream. And I'm not going to do that this year. I'm just going to have fun with The Sims, and maybe someone is going to be there to watch me. And so I think I'll start with that on the 6th of January for my first stream, and I'm very excited about that. And maybe I can also reach affiliate in the Twitch world in 2021, and that is another one of my dreams for 2021. And I hope my goal is just to have fun with streaming and not be so anxious while doing it. And I think I'm in a place at the moment where I can achieve that. And I really have been wanting to stream for a few months now. And I'm finally going to do that this January, and not that many days away from now. And I'm super excited, and I hope some of you want to see it and will show up. And with that, I managed to talk about all of the things that I wanted to talk about in this voiceover, besides one thing, and that is that I want to say thank you so much, because you also, all of you people watching me who left these amazing comments, or just a like, or subscribed, or just know of my existence, you all made my 2020 even better, and you really made it the best year of my life. And I'm so happy and thankful for that. And you all are kind and amazing and supportive people, and thank you so much. I can't wait to see where this YouTube journey takes me, or all of us, in 2021. I wish you the best year 2021. I wish you all of the luck, and that all of your dreams come true, and feel hugged. Yeah, thank you. Just thank you, and thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed and liked it, and if you would consider subscribing, you would make me super duper happy. I hope we'll see each other again.